a superb level. I mean, and
put the man bun in check.
It does look like that. No.
and we have an opening
F4.
F4, okay.
Wesley said, "I like what I got with black. Let me
try it
to do
again."
the same thing with white."
I'm happy that one more game.
Yep.
Well, again,
Well,
just a
we may have more
reminder,
than that.
yeah, I mean, Wesley is at the cusp.
Wow, D5 by Magnus.
All he
I
needs
like
is
it.
a draw in this game, and he will be world champion. A D5,
I like the dynamic.
angling for queen on E8 to A4. You just want to get the queen out of the way,
Right.
so that castles on either side is possible. And
E4.
Wow, and
Queen
Magnus
A4.
Okay,
took very quickly.
that was a little bit unanticipated. Was the move E4 from me, and Magnus quickly developing.
First game. But I must say that I like black's chances. I like knight on f6. I like h6, bishop h7, which might lead into some complicated positions, and it favors black, of course, in this situation.
And there's Jonathan Tisdale boldly stating the obvious in his tweet.
As
Carlsen
Grandmaster Jonathan Tisdale would point out.
yes, or Jan would point out, he must win all three of the remaining fast rapid games because they have 2 points each, and 1 point is good enough for Wesley to clinch. Nepo, in the meanwhile, with a 5-point lead, needs to take 6 and bishop c7, looking to play e5
He wants E5. I like
in
it.
one go.
I was wondering whether Wesley will go full kind of dark square Maroczy bind and try to play a move like D4, but instead he plays knight F5.
F5.
Is he just going to try to go
forking
win a pawn?
pawns. I understand you're attacking the pawn on F4 and attacking the knight on H5,
I
but
don't
the
believe
knight on
it
H5 is
myself.
protected, right?
I don't
Well,
believe
is
it
this
myself.
one's heating up and going to give us action? Let's see what's going on in the Caruana and Nepomniachtchi game as well, so we can
No, but
And
remember,
contrast and compare.
remember, it was the Bent Larson line. Nobody believes you.
Nobody believes it.
I mean, if you don't believe yourself, I mean,
Yeah.
believe in your ideas.
The one on the right looks a weak pawn's in a position, right?
Right.
And that sounds, and sometimes like a silly point, and doesn't become, a reality on the board. But in this case, you see that the best players in the world are capable of missing patterns that are not every day in classical chess.
Yeah, these unusual double hits,
Yep.
like the pawn on G7, and then we saw Fabiano, perhaps Perp's harmony, disarray in his position. He said, "Okay, Magnus,
I'll give
I'm
you the
willing to
pawn."
give the pawn back. Go ahead and take it
And
and
let's look at
simplify
that.
the
So
position."
let's say Magnus goes into the end game and gets his pawn back.
And I'll go knight e4,
I
and
was going
I'll
to
be
say,
a
you
little
don't
bit
feel like somehow his pieces, it's like how I feel every time I play a Grandmaster. Their pieces are always just
On the right
We've seen it.
squares.
better coordinated.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
Castle's
castle.
long.
There we go.
Oh, castle's short. But it is a long. The
I
king,
love that. I love that move, by the
The
way.
king went 5
But if you're
squares.
Magnus, you have to be a little happy to see that too. All right, this is your chance for some sort of attack. Notice how fast he pushed G5, and look at the clock. He's not down on time like he
did.
was in game 1.
Yeah.
He did move for white that you could possibly play, right?
Oh,
Bishop
God.
takes b6.
You want me to give up my favorite piece? Okay.
Yeah, and knight h5. Like, where's this attack of yours?
That's Sopico to answer. As usual, Sopico. 92. How does Magnus?
His king still needs to castle, so that's one tempo he's got to invest.
Right.
And
This is
he needs something like e4, knight e5 to really have any chances of making any kingside attack work. You've got to play, like, I can imagine, well, can I imagine it? G3, queen f5.
G3 looks good. It really does. And Wesley
Yeah.
has no fear. It doesn't matter of the stakes. Magnus just sacrifices a piece by castling long.
Right.
By the way, I think Magnus just grabbed his rook and put it over. I'm not kidding. I don't know if we can get an instant replay on that. I don't think that FIDE is going to have the goal, if you will, to stop the clock, but I'm pretty sure I just saw the rook hop over the king.
Yeah.
He
Probably.
didn't, yeah, because the king is already on its square.
Right?
Right. Right.
Wesley
That's
just playing
just
very
a
quick.
piece.
But again,
Bishop
there's
and-
nothing to do in that case because it's the only legal move for the. But technically, you're supposed to touch the king first.
I know. It's
And again, I'm
any,
just
any moves of castles is, by FIDE's definition, wires that you touch your king first. By the way, Wesley took this piece and said, Magnus, I
Has
think
no
you're
fear.
bluffing.
Yeah.
And
The
guess what? I
problem-
think Wesley is right. Sorry.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
problem with this pawn chain, it looks very beautiful,
It
but
is a
you
beautiful
cannot
pawn
move
chain.
it.
right. Every pawn push is a pawn. You want to just look at it right now.
Yeah.
You want to stay right here.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Right,
This is as
freeze
pretty as it gets.
Yeah.
Pretty picture.
Yeah.
Once you play f3, you give up the
Yeah, I
g3.
can-
Exactly. Exactly.
So I would love to paint the storyline. This is it. This is the all-in moment. This is the attack. But
that the pawns are frozen.
Short of a so blunder, this
Clear that he needs a miracle. Knight e2 to d4. Idea as simple as preparing to play knight f3, preparing to play rook e4.
A fun experience for literally a fan on the street to come up and ask if I thought Magnus had to come back.
Wow. Okay, that's endearing, isn't it? I mean, okay, there is a trick. G4, Wesley, I think it is because
you can play knight
king
f3,
h1.
F3, no? Queen is taking.
No, but it's taking a check.
Knight f3, king h1.
Yeah, you have to move the king because if you take, it's check.
And the point is, you don't want to play king h1 because of queen d5.
Sorry, I had this fun line. Like I hoped you would play this, so I could do this and get the queen with check. Okay, but Wesley indeed has played knight e7 check. He's just taking without even questioning.
Oh, he's got knight f6. Oh, he's got queen e5 check as well. The tempo.
Well, I think right now we're picking between
which move is
Baskin Robbins. There's 31 flavors to win here. I mean, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, knight f6.
Okay, he goes knight f6. Rook f4 might have been the.
But rook f4 would have been visual too.
Well, you know what knight f6 does? It actually makes rook f4 stronger because now you can't even trade queens.
Yeah.
That's right.
So and here comes rook f4 on the next move.
Magnus has, I just saw him make a move, and the look he said is rook f4. I'm going to resign.
Oh, for sure.
Rook f4. He plays it, and I think this is about to be I think this is the.
And
this is the Fischer Random World Chess Championship title.
America can rejoice.
Being won for the first time ever in history. Wesley Sode.
Wow.
He's the first ever World Fischer Random Chess.
Official world champion in Fischer Random Chess after winning Magnus Carlsen 13.5 against 2.5. Wesley Sode.
Congratulations to the first world champion, Wesley. So, ladies and gentlemen, please.